Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 28-yard line. Ready, set, touchdown, 54, Mike, 54. Hey, watch your leg. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Rotate, spell. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. That'll be complete to Cook. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now it's Jackson. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards the pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
First down, Pittsburgh. Okay, ready. Watch right, watch right, watch right. Defense, let's go. 52 is the mic right here on the left, right? 52 is the mic. On yard. Hey, Mike 52, Mike.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to air it out deep for Green. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line. Set.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Switches.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. There he goes, right side. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Now it's Jackson escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And some space here. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Tighten up. Whip. Watch the whip.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Joker. Check three. Any weapon.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Hey. 22, check. Mama. 22.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Tyler Eifert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 14-0.
14. Ravens, nothing. Chris Boswell.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Set.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Going quickly out wide to Moore. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe
rush coming, and he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They're going to look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
He's going to fire one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Johnson, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Watch the safety green.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On third down, he'll drop the throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Line 54. 65. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Jackson from the shotgun. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
In the face. Don't waste the mic. Not today, you are. Not today. Check 26. Check on.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to go deep for Conley. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll look to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Well timed there by Richard Sherman. A sack on the corner blitz. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that...
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller...
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll set up to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And Eifert has it. A good pickup there, 21 yards. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Tyler Eifert with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. This will be caught by Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, the ball, hard. Six guys. Check 6. 22, jet cover. 22, jet. Ball's ready.
Jackson got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That's it, baby.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Let him know.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play there on the screen pass. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They go quickly here out to Moore. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. DJ Moore. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
I'm scared. 52's the mic, boys. 52. I know he ain't got it. Mike 52, Mike. Get that quarterback.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got his man. It's Eifert. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. On third down, Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A first down carry for Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Boswell. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And that is incomplete here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Quick slant, caught by Moore. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. To throw is Jackson, and this is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. On 1st down, Barkley. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Saquon Barkley. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson on 3rd and long from his end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.